What if I told you someone survived not one, not two, but three ship disasters, including the Titanic? Or a man got hit by 2 atomic bombs and still live a long, peaceful life? Or that a guy moved to escape war, but it followed him home and ended in his living room? These aren't movie plots. They're real. Today, I'll show you 3 shocking real-life coincidences that'll make you go, "There's no way that's real." Let's get into it. Okay, imagine this. You take a job on a fancy cruise ship. The ship crashes. Scary, but you survive. So you get a job on another ship. That ship sinks. You survive again. You try your luck one more time. And guess what? That ship also sinks. Sounds like the beginning of a cursed Netflix series, right? But this was real life for Violet Jessup. She worked as a stewardess and nurse on 3 major ships. Olympic collided with another ship in 1911. Titanic. Yes, the Titanic, which sank in 1912. Britannic, which also sank in 1916 during World War I. And she survived all 3. Nicknamed the Unsinkable Woman, Violet lived till 83 years old. She even wrote a book about her experiences, probably the wildest what I did at work stories in history. Let's level up the survival game. Imagine surviving the most powerful weapon ever used in war. Then 2 days later, it happens again, right where you are. Welcome to the unbelievable story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi. He was in Hiroshima for a business trip on August 6, 1945, when the atomic bomb dropped. Badly burned, injured, and shocked, he somehow made it through the blast. The next day, he traveled home to Nagasaki, where the second atomic bomb dropped. And yes, he survived that too. He's officially recognized as the only person who endured both atomic bombings and lived to tell the story. Later in life, he became an advocate for nuclear disarmament and died peacefully at the age of 93. Like, how do you even explain that? Either the luckiest unlucky guy or the toughest human alive. Scientists say the chances of this are 1 in tens of millions, considering location, time, blast radius, and human survival. Story 3 is less about surviving, more about why me. Meet Wilmer McLean, a simple man living in Manassas, Virginia, in 1861. One day, boom, a cannonball crashes into his house. Why? It's the first battle of the American Civil War, and it started in his front yard. He's like, nope, I'm out. So, like anyone avoiding drama, he moves far away to a peaceful farm in Appomattox. Fast forward to 1865, the war is ending. And guess where the Confederate Army surrenders? In his living room. The war literally started in his yard and ended in his house. You can't make this stuff up. McLean famously said, "The war began in my front yard and ended in my front parlor." What are the odds? He didn't fight in the war, but somehow it chose him twice. All right, time to get a little spooky with history. Let me tell you about 2 ex-best friends turned rivals who became America's founding fathers, and then died on the same day, just hours apart, on the 50th anniversary of American independence. Yes, this actually happened. The names? Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. Both signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Adams became the 2nd president. Jefferson became the 3rd. They fought. They argued. They literally stopped talking for years. And then in their old age, they became friends again. You know, old man stuff. But here's where the universe pulls its trick. On July 4th, 1826, exactly 50 years after they helped birth America, John Adams dies at the age of 90. His final words? Thomas Jefferson survives. But here's the twist. Jefferson had already died just hours before at his home in Virginia. Skull, 2 founding fathers. One exact date, 50th birthday of the country they helped create. Dead on the same day. Like the ultimate patriotic mic drop. Many historians believe it's one of the most poetic moments in American political history. Okay, this one's so random, it feels like a comedy sketch written by fate. Look Go back to 1805 in France. A young boy named Émile Deschamps is given a fancy dessert, plum pudding. Who gives it to him? A man he just met, Monsieur de Fontgibu. Now, fast forward 10 years later. Émile's at a dinner party. Dessert time rolls around. Guess what's being served? Pudding. He laughs. No way. Haven't seen this since that guy gave it to me as a kid. But just then, a surprise guest walks into the room. It's Monsieur de Fontgibu again. They hadn't met in a decade. Coincidence, right? Wait, it gets crazier. Years later, Deschamps is at another dinner party. Random invite. Guess what's served? Plum pudding. Guess who walks in? Monsieur de Fontgibu. 3 totally unrelated plum pudding moments, and the same man shows up every time. Some call this a glitch in the Matrix. Psychologist Carl Jung would call it synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that feels too perfect to be random. So what do we take from all this? A woman who cheated death 3 times at sea. A man who walked through 2 atomic bombs. A war that started and ended in one man's home. 2 ex-presidents who died exactly 50 years after they made history. And a dessert that somehow turned into a time-traveling joke. Coincidence? Or is the universe playing games we just don't understand? Some scientists say it's math, like Littlewood's law, which says you experience one miracle every 35 days, just from the sheer number of events in life. But when you live it, it doesn't feel like math. It feels personal. Maybe life isn't random. Maybe there's meaning in the madness. Or maybe we're just all characters in the world's strangest sitcom. Back-end index pointing right now, it's your turn. Have you ever had a weird coincidence? Drop it in the comments. Best one might get featured in the next video. And if you like real stories that feel unreal, hit that like, smash the subscribe. Till next time, stay curious, stay weird, and don't ignore life's strange little signals. They just might be the best story you'll ever tell.